like hard stop. That's a non-negotiable.
5 different rabbis to make this happen. That's like the red line. So they tell this all to me when the camera's down.
Disclaimer, this video was filmed by a non-Jew, that being me, under special guidance from rabbinical authorities. I've been instructed to say filming on Shabbat without the guidance of a rabbi is strictly forbidden. Sometimes when making videos, well, you fall behind the time. And right now we're off to Shabbos. How much time do we have? 7 minutes?
We have 7 minutes until the women light candles. And at that point, the whole world stops.
The whole thing about Shabbos is removing yourself, and the camera is not part of that. So I have to shoot it in a very interesting way, right?
Yeah.
That I don't know of yet.
Let me open my car because
Do I need my suit?
You can get it later. I need to get my stuff now because I can't open my car.
So I can walk in there without a suit? It's not disrespectful?
This is the Shabbos rush.
Shabbos rush. Is this normal?
This is normal, but it shouldn't be normal. Like I should be ready for Shabbos earlier, but that's my life.
We're on ST though, Shlomi time.
Yeah, Shlomi time is fluid.
Everyone's had COVID here?
I believe so.
Okay.
Hello.
If so, no mask.
Okay, so these are our hosts.
Oh.
Hello.
Is that on?
It's on. You can stop if you want.
For 1 second. Sure. Hi, welcome.
Peter.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Can I shake her?
Shake
Sure.
mine.
Okay.
He'll shake for me.
Okay. Nice to
I'm
meet you
Jeremy.
too.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to our
Thank
home.
you for inviting me.
So part of Shabbos for us is that, you know, we shut off all electronics and all of our social media, and we sort of disconnect.
Yes.
So this is something that we're going to pretend is not here.
Okay.
And we're actually not going to talk to the camera at all. So like,
Okay.
no questions to us with the camera. We'll talk to you, obviously.
So if I ask a question, I can ask a question?
Sure.
But the camera will be somewhere else.
Right.
Gotcha.
So like, no cameras like, hey, Sharni, what's
Right.
going on now? Like none
Like
of that.
this.
Right.
Okay,
None of
so
that.
guys, what I'm gonna do is when we get into it, we're gonna get into conversation and eating, and I actually have no idea because I've never done this, but I will walk away with the camera sometimes, go into a different room, and explain to my best of my abilities what is going on. From what I understand, this is a very beautiful ceremony where everyone just takes time for each other and kills all the minutia of life. The cell phone, the camera, the tasks, the shopping, even building. There are rules, I'll explain them to you. Even rules such as like painting the deck, no go. The reason is life is busy, life is chaotic, right? With kids and you need to rest. And I don't think many people do it better than you guys, right? Does it help you balance your week, would you say?
Of course. Sometimes
Okay.
I wonder how people do without Shabbos. Like,
Yeah.
there's never a stop. We have this like hard stop.
Okay.
And we can regroup and we can reconnect, and then we start again.
Gotcha.
So-
And it's every week, 52 weeks a year.
Every week, 52 weeks a year.
I'm very much looking forward to this. Okay, let's take a small break and talk about the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. For those of you new to VPNs, it's a fantastic service. It really allows you to get on a server in more than 61 countries to be anonymous. Why do you want to be anonymous? There are many reasons, but here are a few. I've used Nord for the last year when I was living in Ukraine. Say I wanted to use QuickBooks for my business or watch a Netflix special that wasn't licensed for Ukraine. I just hop over to the US server through Nord, and the internet functioned like I was in America. So there are many uses like this to get original content from overseas, no matter where you're living. Or another use is if you're at a cafe on public Wi-Fi. NordVPN is a layer of protection against hackers that might try to intercept things going in and out of that public Wi-Fi. It works on up to 6 devices and is gluten-free. That's right. Did you hear that? Gluten-free? Okay, you're paying attention. Good. No, there's no gluten in this, but aren't you tired of seeing gluten-free on things that would never have gluten in them? Okay, I digress. Get a huge discount on a 2-year plan of NordVPN at nordvpn.com/Peter Santinello. And when you use my code Peter Santinello in the link, you'll get an extra month for free. It's a risk-free move with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. But it basically boils down to $356 a month, $89 for 2 years. NordVPN.com/Peter Santinello and use the code Peter Santinello, for an unbelievable deal on a superior service, gluten-free internet secrecy that allows you to do so much. I couldn't even mention a quarter of it here. Get on board. Click the link in the description below.
Once I light these candles, we're gonna pretend this camera's not here. I light one for myself, one because I'm married, so that would be 2. And then I light one for every child I have. Hence, the candelabra.
So some people have huge ones then.
Right.
I've heard some families 15 kids.
Sure. Well, my husband has one of 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So his mother lights quite a lot.
Nice, beautiful Strymel.
Nice.
So has everyone had COVID?
Yes, everyone has had COVID, including our children. I think maybe, we don't know if she actually got it, but I don't know if babies actually get it. We don't know. But everyone else has had COVID.
Every adult's had COVID.
Every adult and every child.
This is Peter, my wife, Mushki. This is baby Mayor.
This is Shlomi. Shlomi, who has done the most remarkable work of setting all of this up. There's his beautiful family.
We have another daughter, but
missing
she's playing somewhere. We'll find her eventually.
Okay. So we have how many minutes before we have to...
Like 3.
Beautiful
If
kitchen.
only the camera could smell.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Let me just grab.
This is a nice zone to be in. What's up, guys? Are you ready for Shabbos? Is it a good time? How do you feel about it?
A lot of fun. We get to go to no school. We get to play with our friends. It's very fun. It's a big break of school.
My 13-year-old daughter bakes these. So these are her works of art. All different types, but it's basically the same few ingredients.
Can I ask one question
Sure.
before we get into the bread?
Of course.
I'm trying to understand fashion. You're Hasidic, right?
Yes,
And you're wearing this belt.
I am.
It's very flashy and trendy. And is this normal or no? Is it not? Or it depends the sect of Hasidim you're coming from.
I think it's like anything else in life. People find their balance within the world.
Okay.
So you have extremism in anything in life, in politics, in food, in any culture. And so I think it's about people finding their medium, their balance. And for me, fashion was always interesting to me, and I always enjoyed it. So I found a way to incorporate it into my world and still stay, you know, recognizably a Jewish woman.
And you define yourself as a Hasidic Jewish woman,
Yes,
correct?
I do.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
It's a very it's a very confusing landscape, and I'm figuring out as I go along. And it's very there's so many different levels.
Yep.
And I just want to make that clear. Okay, the bread.
Yes. Okay.
The bread.
So there you go. That's the bread, and we're gonna later we'll cut it and we make a blessing on it.
Okay.
And it's part of our entry to the Shabbos after the prayers.
Shabbos is something that is rare in the world. There's so much happening every week. You know, you have social media and the internet, and people have televisions, and there's a lot going on. And the way I see Shabbos is, God comes and says, you know, Shlomi, you need a break. Everybody needs a break. And some people see it as like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. But look at all the things you can do. I'm here spending time with my child. We all spend family time. We eat, we drink, we really have a good time. It's an amazing thing that we're blessed to have, and I would not be able to live life without it.
Have you ever skipped it?
Not
Because you
once.
travel a lot. You travel a lot.
Yeah. So
How do
first
you
of
do
all, I always try to be home for Shabbos, no matter what. And I travel a lot. Sometimes I'm embarrassed to say this, but once or twice a year I can't make it home for Shabbos, so I'll be out. But I really try to always be home for Shabbos.
If you're anywhere in the world, you come back.
I come back to wherever they are, or I bring them with me. We try to be together for Shabbos.
You travel a lot. Like you've been to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I was alone.
you've
So
been
when
to
I went to Saudi
Afghanistan.
Arabia, I was there for Shabbos. My family didn't come with me. I was alone in my room, and the lights were on the entire time. The AC was on the entire time. It was a hot country. It was freezing. I couldn't touch it. I was wearing a blanket.
You couldn't touch the. See, what are some of the basic tenets? You can't touch the power.
You don't utilize them. Well, you can utilize if the lights are on, they can stay on. But we're not going to light a fire. We're not going to cook. We're not going to use our phones.
Okay.
It's complete disconnect from everything. Now, I want you to understand the kind of sacrifices that people make for Shabbos. We believe that Shabbos in Hebrew we say it's the Mekor HaBracha. It means it's the source of all blessing. I know people who've walked away from $1 million deals because there was going to be a problem for Shabbos. There was recently a story of a woman who was training for the Olympics.
Yeah.
And the training was going to be taking place on Shabbos, and she gave up on her lifelong dream of being part of the Olympics because Shabbos, and she's not going to desecrate Shabbos. That's like the red line. We do not pass Shabbos. That's before and after the Second World War when Jews came. there wasn't a proper infrastructure set up here for Jewish life, specifically not for Hasidic Jewish life, Orthodox Jewish life, and Shabbos was very rare. The Jews who lived here, a lot of them weren't religious. And in those days, everybody worked. They worked 7 days a week. There were no exceptions. So there were people who would get a job. On Friday, the guy would come to the boss and say, Shabbos, I'm going to have to leave early. You're fired. So he'd get fired. Next week, Sunday, he had to look for a job. There were men who would get fired every single week. They'd get fired and get rehired again. And they torture themselves to keep Shabbos.
You just made me feel terrible because I had an employee that was Jewish, and she always says Saturday is my day off.
Okay.
Rest. She's like trying to be a really good employee and say,
Sure.
you can send me some work stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would.
Right.
And I never knew the importance of it.
So you learn something new every day.
Yeah. Sorry, Rachel. I didn't mean that. Now I know.
But it's so important to understand. There was a man who had a sukkah. You've been to a sukkah,
Yeah.
right? You know, people put up all sorts of decorations. He would put up his pink slips. In the old days when you used to get fired, you got a pink slip.
Yeah.
He decorated his sukkah with tens of pink slips from every week that he got fired to show his family how important Shabbos was to him. That he was willing to give up his job. And in those days, if you didn't have a job, you could freeze to death. You could starve. There weren't the same social nets that we have today.
Yeah.
And people really sacrifice for this. It's an unbelievable thing, and I'm so glad you're going to be here to experience it.
My job right now is to go around the house, make sure every light is on to the bathroom.
Okay.
Because the light is off in the bathroom, you can't use it.
We're not going to be talking to the camera anymore, so you're welcome to be here. Please come, enjoy, eat, drink, have fun.
Can I talk to you guys?
You can talk to us, but we can't talk to the camera. So basically the way it would work is that if you won't be recording, I can explain to you what's going on, and then you can explain to your audience what's happening.
Okay.
One of the important things the rabbis told us was that we're not going to dictate to you what to do. So you are here because you want to be here. You can film whatever you want. You can choose when to film, when to stop, when to cut. It's your show. We're here. We're doing our thing. You do your thing. And
You're basically like this camera here, this guy.
Okay.
except you're going to get to eat all the delicious food, and
Right.
the camera won't.
Exactly.
How many rabbis did you talk to?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different rabbis to make this happen. Yeah.
The way to actually bring in the Shabbos is to make a blessing over light, over candles.
Okay.
So we make a blessing. It's our time to meditate. It's our time to pray for our families. You'll see my girls will cover their eyes. They will bring in the Shabbos with their hands like this.
Okay.
They will cover their eyes. They'll meditate. They'll make a blessing. And that's how we'll start.
And the
our
lights go
Shabbos.
off?
No. Everything stays on. So
Okay.
lights stay on. We just don't touch them. Once they're on, they're on.
All night.
Yeah.
Okay, just to do this right,
Sure.
from this moment on, I'm not asking you any questions if a camera's near me.
Right.
I want to be so proud of you.
Tati, he wants you away from it. Tati,
They're going to pray. The men are going to pray. I can't talk to them with the camera on.
Wait, he needs a coat.
Hope you can see this. A little dark out. And these hats, the Stremel, is used for holiday times. Very stylish. Look very warm for the winter. And so I was told everyone in here has had COVID, except for 2 people with masks on. So I'm gonna feel this out. I don't want to get in a tight space with a lot of people, and I sort of have to be like undercover. They're saying don't hold the camera up. Just another day. Alright guys, I love it when we can go into different worlds together. I love doing it, and I love that you guys doing it, because if you didn't, I wouldn't be able to, well, at least make videos out of it. Okay. Okay, a little awkward because Shlomi said keep the camera down, and you could see some people. I don't think they knew I was coming in, so they, you know, I don't want to disrupt that, but you could get enough of a idea what's going on. I wanted to do this right, get the proper attire. How do you guys like this so far? Pretty interesting? There we go. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay. They can't turn the light on. I turned the light off when I left the bathroom, and they're not allowed to touch any of the lights. So I have to turn it back on. Quite interesting. There we go. Shlomi said before, this song says it's about welcoming the angels. This song is about praising their wives, about recognizing they have one woman for life, and their dedication to that woman, something like that. So the bread is the challah, and this is the challah cover blanket. And it's, the bread is very sacred in Hasidic or Jewish culture. So I guess we're gonna bless the wine and then get into the bread. And so they tell this all to me when the camera's down. We're doing all of what the rabbis told us to do. I can talk here, but they can't talk to us. So I'll try my best to get it right. So I was told we're coming up on the best moment here. So they wash their hands, and until they eat the bread, they cannot talk. So Shlomi was saying there's a lot of nonverbal cues going on. I guess kids can talk though. Humming, whistling.
My birthday's in 2 days.
That's like who?
Yeah, it's crap. Yeah.
Oh yeah, how much was crap? Okay.
Starting with the bread here, nice warm bread. So this is Moroccan salmon, and I was wondering what that could be because I've never heard of Moroccan salmon, but it's the preparation, it's the spices, I believe. We'll see. We have a fish, and I don't know what that sauce, but it looks tasty. Hummus, different sauces. I'm gonna taste here, all homemade. Looks like a lot of time went into this. Very nice. Onions. I see some peppers over here.
Uncles are supposed to be nice to their nieces, not me.
I don't want to share my company, you just threw up.
So the Torah says at every meal you have to have wine, fish, meat, and challah, bread. But you can freestyle a little bit. See, we got some pesto, baba ganoush. That's obviously Jewish, but pesto isn't. Mushrooms, different types of fish. So we just had a conversation about the family unit, and it's a puzzle. So, husband and the wife from the Torah have defined roles. The husband's supposed to provide monetarily, keep the house going, roof over everyone's head, and the woman is the provider for the children, the caretaker, takes care of the home life. I don't think this is any surprise. But they were saying there's equality in it, whereas, you know, he makes the majority of the money. She also makes money and works. She does the majority of the raising of the children. He also jumps in as a very hands-on father. He even changes diapers, I was told. But they're very much into their traditional roles. And by doing so, they say there's no confusion, there's no, no arguing over what should be done. It's very clear what needs to be done. And there's equality in the relationship, but just different roles in the relationship. Shlomi was just revealing that he loves Shabbos for the fact that he has to put his phone away. He's a little bit addicted to his phone, like most of us. And in Shabbos, well, he can't look. And he also quit smoking the very minute before Shabbos, I think many years ago. So, another thing that was just mentioned at the table was some coworkers around some of these guys here are always like, I wish I was Jewish. Why? Why would you want to be Jewish? Because you have Shabbos. You can put it all away, and it doesn't feel like a burden to me. It doesn't feel like someone's missing out from anything. It feels more like they're gaining. There's connectivity, no silly distractions, and it's like a very firm rule. So there's no going over the line. It's very clear. This is the maid.
Is Shabbos a burden?
No.
Why not?
Because there's no school.
I'm like half a week I'm in China, but I come home for Shabbos, and then Matzah Shabbos, like Saturday night, I'm on the flight.
But we have a deal that we try to make it that Shabbos.
Right.
We're home as a unit. We're home.
We try to do that.
Yeah.
Because before, when I was dating my wife, I told her, she asked me like, what's your most important thing that you think
No,
that
yes, it's a non-negotiable.
Oh, she asked me what's non-negotiable, that's
You
something.
said, what does that mean?
And I told her, that's Oman. She's like, what do you mean? I said, every Rosh Hashanah I will be in Oman, no matter what. And she said, I'm in. That's it.
Cool.
So I have a lot of friends that their wives give them a very hard time. They end up going, but they get there already all bent out of shape. I'm the only one coming, showing up over there happy. They're like, your wife let you go?
Yep.
I'm like, oh, she packed me up. She even put some notes in my mouth. You know.
When we're a unit and we stick together, and that goes for anything in business, when you stick with your partner, when you stick with a friend, when anyone goes through a hard time and you stick together, then that's how you come out on top. So in our culture, like in Yiddishkeit, that's how it works. We stick together, we support each other, we're there for each other, and that's how we survive. We dress similar, we act similar, we abide by certain rules. Yes. There's variances within what we do, but at the end of the day, it boils down to the same, concept of tribalism, and that's how we survive.
Yeah,
that's how we survived till now, and that's how we'll always survive. So when the outside world looks at us, they look at it as like a bad thing, we're secluded. But really, if only they would look at us like we're just trying to survive.
I grew up with 4 grandparents. All 4 of them were Holocaust survivors. 3 of them went through Auschwitz. And it's something that we learned from them, that the only way you're going to survive if you have each other's back.
Right.
Whenever we had any kind of conversation, the Holocaust came up, especially if my grandparents were at our house.
Your grandparents spoke about it?
Yeah, they spoke about it. Some of them spoke more about it, some less.
In my family, no one ever said a word. It was like, it was just something you didn't talk about.
My grandmother,
because it was too painful.
And my grandmother spoke about it every day, all day. Our community gets, put down, and we talk about this all the time. It gets put down because of the lack of education, quote unquote education. But really, does it really matter if you went to college? The fact is that, Ellie didn't even speak English until he was 19 years old. Yet he runs a successful business. He sells millions of dollars a month in business. There are different kinds of education, and not all education needs to boil down to, college. There's street education, and there's education you can receive from the yeshiva world that really can provide a life, and that's what he's done. I never went to college yet. I became a commercial real estate broker, and now I do a lot of sales for him and the social media. So I think it's important. We talk about a lot, like how the world perceives us, and we don't have this education. The fact is that education doesn't mean going to college. There's some people academic and great, college works for them, but not everyone is academic. Second cut brisket, your baby squash, seasonal baby balsamic carrots, string beans with duck fry. Enjoy. I think that's it. Did I say it? Yeah.
Would you like some
carrots?
I love everything.
All right.
Real foodie.
What do you got there? What do you got there? Is that your friend? That's Myrna, the housekeeper. She's really into the music.
Good job, everybody.
Good job, Myrna.
Good job, Myrna.
So the candles have to burn out completely. They're not allowed to blow out the flame. Unless you're not Jewish, then you can blow out the flame. Oh no, look what's happening in here. You got the Febreze. You want to make it smell better? Get a better scent? Oh my God, lay off that. Lay, not so much. So right now we're closing down the meal. They're gonna thank God for now, thank God for the future, that they never starve. They never are reliant upon other people. What an adventure. And that was a first for me, I think a first for a lot of you. Shabbat dinner. And I want to leave on a few final observations about the evening. It was much less serious than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be way more stiff, less laughing, more formal. And while there were rituals and there was obviously the singing going on, it was a very light, jovial, fun experience. So that was a surprise. I thought the women would be dressed more conservatively. They were all wearing wigs. I couldn't tell it. Like I knew that they all wear wigs, but I didn't. It hit me at the end. I really like these people. I've everywhere I go in the Hasidic community, they've really taken me in, and I don't feel. Usually when you're in very, not every, but in times I've felt when I'm in a very serious religious group, looked at as inferior, and I haven't felt that at all with the Hasidic Jews. Maybe I got lucky, just the people I've been around, but overall, I can speak from my experience, and just a lot of love, a lot of warmth, a lot of open arms. So I want to thank Sturny and Ely for opening their doors to their home, to let me in, to let all of us in. That's a bold, brave, honorable thing to do that does a lot of good for everyone, I believe. It bridges between the Hasidic world and the non-Hasidic world. It lets people see perhaps a view they haven't seen before. I'll also leave a link down below for my Patreon if you want to support this channel. I got a link down there. You can go to that. And Shlomi's link. Thank you, Shlomi, for setting all this up. For a non-Hasidic person to get into an environment like that, as you might imagine, is not such an easy thing to do. I've only gotten in these places because of Shlomi. Check out his YouTube channel too. He goes all over the Middle East as a Hasidic Jew, dressed as he is. Thanks for coming along on that ride. From New York City until the next one, I am absolutely exhausted. It's 1 a.m. See you then. Oh no, look what's happening in here. You got the Febreze? You want to make it smell better? Get a better scent? Oh my God, lay off that. Lay, not so much.